What is up, you guys? It's SC92 here, bringing you another Thinking Out Loud. I started this series because there's a lot of thoughts that I have about a lot of different things, and YouTube is I like doing them, and YouTube is a great community. Sometimes, not all the times, but it's a great community for you to share your thoughts and really just bounce ideas off of people. And today, this video is about the game developer Valve, the people who created Steam. My question is Valve an average developer? And let me make myself clear on what I mean by average. I don't mean like their games are bad or you're bad for playing their games. And I'm not talking about player base either. I'm just saying, are their games average? Is Valve as a whole average? Out of AAA developers and stuff like that, are they just average? You know? Do they stand out more so than anybody else? Not really. I mean, outside of Steam. No, they don't. I mean, the last game they made was Dota 2? And, I mean, a ton of people play it. But, to get what I'm saying is, I've played Half-Life 1, 2, pretty much the entire Orange Box. I played Portal 1 and 2, and, pretty much, again, I have the Orange Box. I pretty much played every single game in there. And to me, none of them none of the games that Valve has made has stood out to me as a big deal for me as a gamer or anybody who likes video games. And I can say the same thing about a ton of different games. I'm not just talking about Valve, but I mean, this is what the topic is just dawned on me. I was just thinking, cause take it Call of Duty as a franchise, and the people who make it, they're average to me. I mean, I've played every Call of Duty, and they're average. Infinity Ward, Activision, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, all of them, they're average. One of my all-time favorite games. I played more than Call of Duty, but one of my all-time favorite games is Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Halo 3. For two different reasons. Halo 3 was because I just liked the game, and Halo was one of the first Xbox games I ever had. And Modern Warfare was the first real game I got into online. I played Halo online and it was fun, but Call of Duty was different. But yeah, ever since then, there hasn't been a Call of Duty that stood out to me. And again, so to me, and not to everybody, just to me, they're average. And again, not by numbers, because of course people are buying them. And I just said in my last Thinking Out Loud video that I was getting Infinite Warfare, but more so for Modern Warfare. So again, when I mean average, as in they're all right. I'm not average as in bad, because there are a lot of bad developers, a lot of them. Especially the ones who put out games that are broken. Kind of like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Unity. And no, they will never live that down. So yeah, there's a lot of bad developers. And also, Ubisoft is kind of up for sale if they have not yet already been bought by, I forgot what the name of the company was. But back to Valve. Again, Half-Life 1, 2, Portal 1 and 2, they're average games to me. Nothing stood out to me. Story was alright. But none of them stood out. Nothing was oh my god, I love this game, I have to replay it. The first game I ever truly replayed over and over again was Mass Effect. It was a really good, and this is the first one where everyone thought it was the greatest game ever and thinks everything after it is mediocre trash. Not exactly the case, but people, not me. I've liked all of the Mass Effects. The first one I liked just because of the story and everything that had to do with the Mass Effect universe, and 2 and 3 pretty much just reinforced that. However, it did have its downsides. It was slower. It had a very slower pace to it than 2 and 3, because they went more of an action kind of thing, which again, fine with. But yeah, it's average. I feel they're average. I feel the stuff that people do with their games is average too. Counter-Strike, I feel, is average. Has a huge player base, but it's kind of average. The game itself to me is average, and maybe it's because I'm not super into PC games that nothing stands out to me, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft. I played a few PC games. I've played strategy games. I've played all types of games. I'm playing StarCraft 2 right now, like just for the fun of it. I mean, and I'm playing like several types of games on. I'm playing Dead by Daylight too. Like, there's a lot of different games that I play on PC, but Valve games have never stood out to me. Like, sure they're fun, yeah, but on for me for a rating, I give most of them a 7.5 out of 10 each time. I mean, yeah, and like especially like Portal was is such a short game, and I mean I guess it's better if you keep replaying it with other people. But I don't want a game that's fun, only like really fun when you have somebody else to play with. I want a game that's fun, period. Like, I want a game that's so fun that adding another person makes it that much more fun. Like, that's why I kind of wish that some games would have a co-op in it, but they don't. But yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts. Valve is average for me. Them as a developer, average. I mean, hell, them as the people who made Steam. I mean, outside of grouping a lot of games together, they've had quite a few problems in their time, like with like their support of their people, the people who are on Steam, people who use Steam, like with the passwords and credit card information being leaked, all that stuff being leaked. They pretty much said no fucks given, and it was like, oh well. So I mean, yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts. Like, do you guys feel like they're average? Like, and again, I'm not saying that they're a bad developer. I'm just saying they're average for like AAA developers. And I was also thinking like Half-Life. The reason why Half-Life 3 will never come out is I think it's a few reasons. One, the expenses of it. Two, it's been such a long time. Three, being the hype, and four, which is most likely the case, they don't know how to make Half-Life 3, or Portal 3. They don't know how to. I don't think, because all these years I think that's due to the hype that they don't know how to make this game. And however, other games have done perfectly fine with hype trains and have blown people away. And then there's also the ones that fall flat, like games like Mass Effect and The Witcher. These are series that have been going on for a long time, and like it's been quite some time since Mass Effect 3, and they're coming out with Mass Effect Andromeda, and they're hyping people up for it. People are hyped for this game, and they haven't actually seen actual gameplay yet. In the game, we haven't seen actual gameplay yet, and it comes out in like February or March, like, and people are still excited for it. BioWare is still making it. Why can't Valve do the same thing? Like, you don't want to disappoint people, or you don't want to try, or you just don't know how. I'd accept any of those answers. Just maybe you should give people an answer. I find it weird, like how games with cult followings, like every Valve game apparently, especially Half-Life 1 and 2, is weird because they're always at this standstill of, do we make more? Which is fan service? What is actually what we want to do? I mean, obviously, what they want to do is not make not Fallout, but Half-Life 3 and Portal 3. Obviously, that's what they don't want to do, to some degree. I'm pretty sure that's always going to be a passion project that they always want to work on. But again, it could be from people with investors. Like, we don't see it making a lot of money, and there's always a lot of things that go into that. But a straight answer is always better than walking around it. And I'm pretty sure there's probably been one or two people that have actually have given an answer, and people who have said no, there's no Half-Life 3 or Portal 3. But I'm not, like, for me, I'm still not clear on it, because I've read a lot of the stuff, and it's like, yeah, there's not gonna happen, or, well, you never know. But I need a definite answer. Is it because you don't know how to? And that's like what I mean by average. Like, an average person, like, they'll have success and maybe never move past it. Like, they'll live off that success for as long as they can, and maybe not know like what to do for the next big thing. And maybe that's where Valve is right now with their games. Like, maybe they don't know how to top themselves for Half-Life 2 for the next iteration. Like maybe they don't know how, and that's why I feel that's what makes them average. Anyone that gets stunted by doing something or like afraid of doing like certain things, you'll never go past being average. And even though like there's also some people who need to stop, like the people who make the Call of Duty franchise. Again, I've played every Call of Duty since like I think it was like Big Red 1, so I think that was Call of Duty 2. I've played all of them, but I do think that they need to take a break. I said in my last video, my last rant, was that should they just maybe just do some remakes like until they get themselves together, until they get like a really good idea and not just future. You know, like should they just do Modern Warfare up to like whichever one came before Ghost, and just we are like be happy with that for a while, like until they can actually come out with a really good Call of Duty. Like, could you imagine if they just made remakes and only spent like a portion of their time like remaking an old game, and they get to spend like 4 or 5 years making the next Call of Duty? Or maybe they don't do anything at all, but you know that's never going to happen. Like, that could be an awesome game. Like maybe all 3 of the Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward make a game together. Like, they just do the remakes and spend time making a game with all of them. And maybe they could probably make the greatest Call of Duty game of all time. I mean, because time works. It does. Like, look at, I mean, well, I'm not going to say Destiny, but look at Halo. Halo, it pretty much got the game itself. It was always fun. And there was spaces in between it. It didn't come out every year because it didn't need to. It's like time away. Like, what is it? It says, time apart makes the heart grow fonder or something like that. Maybe the Call of Duty and Activision, like they as a whole, maybe they all need to learn. Take a break. Like, you want sales to go up? Maybe you should like starve people out for Call of Duty for a bit. I mean, it probably put a lot of people out of work, especially like in the esports. For some people, like the professional Call of Duty people, they'd be out of work unless, like, of course, again, you did the smaller like HD remakes in between then, and they just play the games that they've played tons of times before. They would never need to relearn it for like 3-4 years. Like, again, extra time works better. Supposedly it's gonna work better for No Man's Sky, and we'll see on August 9th or whenever it comes out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. And again, my question to you is, what do you think of Valve? Like, whether you're like a Valve fanboy or just a person who plays Valve games or who has played Half-Life or Half-Life 2 or anything that was in the orange box. What do you think? Like, again, to me, average, because they'll never, like, it's like, because there's any of the excuses they can give you for why they don't do stuff is something that an average person or an average being would say. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Ice King out.